So yesterday we are talking about the data modeling. Okay. So we have talked about the different concepts related to um, properties and the single mode properties within that. Okay. So today we are going to see we have seen the data types as well. So data type is nothing but is the one structure for any related information you want to going to create on that. So data type is a class. Okay, normally like it's a specific class for a specific purpose. So that's why actually we call it data type. So within that you have some specific fields and you want to reuse that the same information in multiple places. So we can go with the data type. Okay. So similarly we have created this one as a customer. So for like say for address, we can create different things within the address as well, like address line number 1, straight like that. We're going to create that. This is address line number 1. Come on, slow. Line number 2. Okay, city. State, country, okay, postal code, and finally we can give the landmark. Okay, so this is actually like we have created the structure for your address as well, right? So now we see for the customer itself, you want to attach the address in the customer now. So we say we are going to add the address as a field within this, and then you can make that as a, so if you say address can be of a multiple one. So if you say you want to create address of home, address of office, address of shipping, address of billing, so there can be multiple address can be associated with a single customer, right? So we cannot store the same address in a single place. So how we can going to do that? Like we need an array to store it. So array for is a page. It is like if it's a page of information, and if you want to make array of it, then we have two concepts like page list and page group. Okay. So if you are going to create the address, so there is still you can see if it is a single page, it's actually normally we call it field group. And if we are going to create as a field page group or any other one, we can go with here. So here you can get the type of that. So here is like when you give that address, it will try to find it out the existing one. So it try to find the name of that data type. It should get that. Yeah. Okay. We need to go for this one. If you click drop down, and then you can select the same. Yeah. So now it's actually can see that the data type is created within that. So this is a page list. So if you go to actual page, the property which is created, you can see it out. It's a page list type of the property. Okay, and then it contains the address. So in the page definition, like which page you are going to repeat. So that actually information we defined then in a page definition here. And similar way, actually, like if you go to your actual, if you're in application, right? If you want to create many things within, if you have multiple properties are here, right? So let's actually, if you want, we have created two properties yesterday here, right? So if you see, you have to create multiple properties together here. So you can see that if you click on to the right click, you can see create properties option. So this will open the similar structure as if it's a data type, it will open the work pool as a. So here you have an option also. If you click on to the add to data explorer, it will display that information in here itself. So if you say I just made it add to data explorer, so that it purchase as a work pool also will display here. So I can choose that from the portal, it's data explorer itself. So now it's actually like it's going to be visible here. So if you refresh that, you will get it. Purchase as a work pool also, you can see that. So this is actually like we have added a data type in the purchase work pool as well. So directly, like we don't need to go to the app and create properties to open it. We can open the same thing from here as well now. So here actually like if you are going to use the customer, what we have created there, so we are going to use it here as well. So there also we are going to create a single page and that need to refer a data type. So that actually we can pick it from here. Okay. So this is actually creating a page within the work pool. So that the same data type we are using it in multiple places. So there actually like now we've used that in purchase work pool. Okay. So if you go to structure now, if you refresh the same, you will see a customer. Within the customer, you can see the address as well. So if you see customer, all the properties of the customer is already here, and then the address. Within the customer, we have all the properties of the address as well. So we can refer them as dot customer dot address one, like that. We can refer them now. Okay. So this is a click, address is a page list, customer, if you click onto that, this is a single page. So customer is a single page, address is a page list. So what the difference between page list and page group is, the subscript of array in case of page list, it will be a numeric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we also, that is we call as ordered list. Okay. And the other one, actually there we are not going to give the numeric one, the subscript. So that will be alphabetic. So the normally that we call as unordered list, or we also refer that as semantic list. Okay, because that's the name of, actually depend on your actual where you are going to related things are you can going to get that. So address of home, address of that, like that we also can create that as a page group. Okay. So that's actually like your page list or page group. So if you say within that, I'm going to create a, so if you say actually like if you're now here, how you going to create a page list property? So like if say for address, I want to also create that as a page group as well. So if you say I want to create a property here. So address as a page group also I'm creating it separately. Okay. So I've given it address. Okay. The same thing like context and your add to rule set. Click create on that, and then you need to change that to type. So here you are going to create it a page group. Okay. So here you need to define the class of the same. So if you say you have the class you get purchase, then we have address. So creation of page list, page group or single page is the same. Only thing that it will be refer on the I think that's the name we need to choose. Sorry, it should be get data address. Sorry, application name will not come when we are referring the so application name doesn't come in the data class. Okay. So this is we have created into the page group. So this is the now page group is also created. Yep. So this address also the same field, but now it's a page group. So that we can refer as a home or within that, and within the customer we can refer as address of 1 and 2 like that only. So that will be, you can see we are maintaining the address in different places like that. So this is a different concept of page list and page group. There is one more thing, sir.
Mukesh, so
Yes.
when you have the same address in more than one place like that, does it get to store the same information stored in it? Like if you call it as a class and passes something, does it get populated in both places?
No, no, no.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
like now the context is different. So this is actually
Okay.
within the customer. Like you need to refer that dot customer dot address
Exactly.
and
Okay, so you make different references. So this would
yes,
be property dot address, the other one would be uh, property dot customer dot something, right? Because it's
right,
inside the customer. Is that what you said?
right. That's right. So it's actually like it's a two different entity now. Like it's
Okay.
referring into the same class, but it's two different entities.
Yes. So you can reach them at different levels because they are in it. So you don't have to recreate it. You're reusing the class, but the
Yeah.
class attached to the elements right above them.
Yes, that's right. Actually, just I'm reusing the structure. That's what the use
Yes.
of the data type. So data type you have created once, you can reuse it, the same data type in multiple places.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
So like if you say another good example is the errors. Like errors actually you have created a data type like error ID, error text. Okay. That the same structure you can use it in multiple places. Because you need to
Yeah.
provide the errors in like if you're connecting with integration or you're in like and your UI error or anywhere it's like if you want to use, so you just included that error within your main page. So main page you can include that as a list or you can add that in multiple times.
Oh,
So
so
error
it has to
also,
be on the page before you can use it in all the elements on the page.
yeah, that's right. So actually like if you say I'm going to add a new field, okay,
Okay.
it will be
Okay.
automatically added it in the structure as well. So if you say I'm in customer, I'm going to add a
Mm-hmm.
new field here. So if you say,
Say
um,
location or something. Just add something.
yeah, I'm just thinking actually like, what will be email, phone, we have everything, that of that, okay. Yeah. If you say actually like we are maintaining it last purchase date like that, okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So if you say we have date only field,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So this the property is created if you go there in the customer because it's referring the data class, right? So whatever the
Okay.
property you're going to add, it is at now you're not able to see it here, right? Once you refresh it, the property will be available it here as well
Oh,
because it's referring the class,
I get it.
right? So if you see it here, last purchase date is
And
in
it would
the
be also
structure.
in this address at the top, right?
Yeah. So if you see, yeah, if you see in address, we are going to add a new field as well. Uh, in address, what we can write. Oh, okay. So in like say we are going to get the phone number as well, because there will be different phone number in different places.
Okay.
So we can say, okay, we are going to add the phone number as well here. So now the phone number will be available in, now it will be like added in both places now. So you can see phone number, you can see it in the page group, and also the same information, the same structure will be available in the within the customer as well.
Okay, how come the last purchase date is not there? Oh, we didn't keep that, right?
Yeah, it's there. So that is actually within the customer, not within the address.
Oh, okay, okay, I get it, I get it. Okay.
It is in the customer, okay, and that is like in the address we have add one field, and there we have add one field. So because it's referring to the class, so whatever the things you are going to do in the class will be automatically added to the page and page group as well.
I'm a little confused here. So customer, so there's address here and there's address within customer, correct?
Yeah. So
So
that
there are two addresses. Yeah,
is a
there's
page
address
list.
there. Oh, okay, I get it. So this last purchase date is part of customer, it's not part of address.
No, yeah. This is actually we have added in customer data type.
Okay, I get it. And then if you go inside address, you add phone number, that goes to everything.
Yes. So that is
So
like in
what
that.
is the difference between this address here and the address at the top on the property?
Okay, okay, fine. Just a minute. So if you see, you have a customer page. Okay, so
Yes.
any property I want to refer that customer, and then I need to refer as first name. Okay, so this way I can refer the property of the customer page. Okay, like if you see, if I have to refer the address of first one, so I need to go with this address of, because that is a page list. Okay.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so this is, we need to refer in that way. So if you want to refer within that address of the customer, and if you want to refer the outside, you need to refer like that, address of home dot address of one.
I get it. Okay.
So this is actually, this is a different page now, which is not related to the customer anything. So you are creating a separate page completely which is not related to customer, and this address is related to the customer.
Okay.
So that is a completely different field outside.
So when you go to home, you go outside the page.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is actually within the customer, and this is the like customer as a separate page.
I get it.
So you have, like, if you can say address of home, you have address of office. So the same way you want to get the address of,
Address one. Okay.
yeah. So here actually, like if you have multiple address, so that you can refer in this way, address as of 2. Yeah, because that's the array of page. Page list and page group are the array of pages. So that way we can refer it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. So this way we have shown the page list and page group, and this is another concept which is like we call as advanced mode of the property. So that is like Java type of the property, like Java object, Java property, Java page group. So that is like not much needed. Actually, if you are going to write some Java utilities or Java functions, then we go for advanced mode of the property. Okay. So that is like we can go with that. Leave that now. We don't need to understand that much now. Okay. There is one more property which called as value list and value group. Okay. So what's the use of value list and value group is that are the, actually we can say that are also array but single property. So let's see, like we are going to create the some single property. Okay, single property array. So if you say you want to get it some, you have mobile. Okay, so let's say within that customer, I'm going to create a property, single property. So let's say actually I want to name as mobile. Okay, and I'm changing it to a value group or value list. So if you can see that for each one of the item, you need to choose that what is the type of it. So if you say I want to give that is an integer. Okay, so that's actually I should have no. Actually, here you should not have an option of phone or like that. So if you say we with the text, and here we can go with px phone. Some control is there, so we can choose that out from here. Okay. So this is, if you like, it will be the same like other property. We have the same structure. Only thing is that like it now how we can refer this field is, so if you say I just created this field, so this is become a value list property. So now I can refer as mobile 1. So it will be like that, customer dot mobile on. So that actually he has 5 mobile number, so he can refer mobile 1, mobile 2, the number like that. And after that there will be no dot. So this is actually just we are repeating the same mobile number. So here actually like address doesn't contain anything. So that actually more properties are associated with that. So here the property itself repeating. So single property repeats. So that actually like the concept is called as value list. And if you say like if you have created that as a value group, so if you say with the brand you want to go for that, Apple, Samsung, like that, you want to go with the brand name, so that also possible. So that also we can check it out with the option of mobile number. Okay, so that actually like normally value list and value group. As a Pega best practice, actually Pega doesn't want to go for value list or value group type of the property. They're saying that actually like in place of value list and value group, create them as a page itself. So in future, if you want to extend any attribute, you can use them later. So no need to create them as a value list or value group. So in future, if you want to add any attributes, we can able to do that. Okay. So this is your property of mobile. Okay, we call it value list or value group type of property. Okay. So this is like we have seen the different type of the property which we have. Okay. So now actually like if we say next, actually we're going to, so here I'm going to create a new type of the data type product, like what you are going to purchase, right? So normally when we have this, actually like it's maintained in a separate place. We don't maintain everything in Pega. So what actually we are going to do is we are going to create a Pega data products. Okay. So this is actually like I'm creating a new data type. Okay. Here actually like we are going to maintain the what are the different products which is available, and so this is actually like normally we are going to use a reference. So we say product ID, product category, so that actually we can define as a pick list, as a drop down, many things we can put in onto that product subcategory. we can just remove the product between that. Okay. How much quantity is available, we can put it into that. What's the price of each quantity? Okay, we can have expiry date of the product. We can say which brand it's available. So we can say the brand. Yeah. So this is actually like we can say as a reference information about the products, right? So based on that we can get the product details. So normally this information we get it from the outside world. For just like if you want to test it, how we are going to create the details, and so like Pega it provide the feature, that feature is there. If you want to use a reference information, you can create as a local storage, or normally we call it as local storage. Okay, so see the source. Okay, you can have seen an option of create a local source. So what I'm going to do is I'm converting the same data type into a table now. So if you see product ID, I make that as a key. Okay, I need to make it as a key, and it is going to create the page for me as well. So if I click submit, it is going to create the data pages and also as a table for me. And so that table I can use that as a reference. Okay. So here you can see that we have created a product here. And if you go to the view detail, you can see that it's created a database table, it's created a mapping rule, it's created some other rules as well to support that. Okay. So this is actually like we normally refer as local storage. So if you go to the records tab, hello.
Sorry.
So here you can see that a new table is created, and there you can able to add the new records in that. So if you say product ID is P001, then brand you can give a Samsung. Okay, expiry date you can make as leave as well, like if it is not expiry one, so you can leave that one. So price, if you say if you're putting it 4,000. Okay, quantity you have actually now currently 10. Subcategory you are putting it mobile, and you have electronics. So this information we can able to put it in this way, and we can reuse to display this information in one place. If you want to display like what are the different things you have, so you can add as many add record here. So this is the dummy data, you want to put it like that. Oh, one thing should be there as well. So if you say description should be there. So if you say you want to put it, some descriptions. Okay, the description we can put it as a little more details.
So when do you use a local storage?
Yeah, this is actually like for reference information. So normally like when we see, it's like there are some specific information like category, subcategory, right?
Yes.
So you are going to maintain that in some other place. So that if you want to maintain within the Pega, you
Okay.
can do that as a reference information. Let's say like all the category, subcategory, you can put it within the Pega itself.
Okay. And then you expose that to the user, but it's
Yeah.
not part of your data per se. It's
This
not.
information, yeah, like what you can do is actually you can put a separate admin part. Actually, like there will be like
Okay.
user. For user, actually, like it will be not visible anything. Actually, like
Okay.
who is there will be some admin user from your organization. So they are going to
Yes.
maintain this information, product,
Okay.
category, subcategory. There will be different reference table for the same. So
Okay.
this one also we can put it as a text so that actually I can create as a subcategory or as a separate data type as well.
Okay.
Okay. So description, and we can make it one more flag like available, so that actually we can make as boolean.
Up right there.
Okay. So that is like it's available or not, we can say it's true or false, so that we can check it out from that. Okay. Yeah. So this is the source. Okay. We have created the we are on the. So once actually like there is a difference that, so now if we created more properties, right? So currently like it's, you can see that the details are not coming here. So what actually we can go for that? So you go to action. Yeah, so you can see that edit columns. Now I can go and choose that fields as well. So description, available. So that two field I've added as well. Okay, and I can click submit. So now that also will be displayed it in the column wise. So that if you like, we can say that the description you can write in a bigger text on that. One more thing I missed, product name also is not there. Okay, will, yeah, product name should be there as well. Okay, so that will give you the complete information about the product. Okay, that again we go to edit column and add the same here. And if you see you want to change it to the way, so you can move it as well. Yeah, so now this is that brand, get the name, and then the expiry date price will come. Okay. So I can change the order of the things as well. So it's, you can see now it's changed with that. Okay. If I want to edit it again, I can say it's available. Okay. And so here I can put the, if you can see, Galaxy Note. So that's the name of the product on that. So here I can see again electronics, then mobile, then I can put it iPhone, 7s. Okay. So I can here actually mention more like it's a 8 GB or another details. I can put it here. So you see 6,000 and we have the code and also available we can put it. So this way we are able to create our structure. So this is information I just am putting it. So anytime if you need some sample data, like if you say your integration is your not working and you want to test your system, or that also time also you can use the local storage to test your application. So it's like local storage is used multiple purpose. Like if you want to maintain your reference data, you can go for local storage, or if you want to go for any testing, also like if you are not service available, that time also if you want to go for it, you can check this information from there. Okay, and there is an Excel also, so if you can export and import as well. So if you want to export the same information and you add it and you import it back also is available in there. Okay, it's open. Okay, we need to choose the tab. Open with Microsoft Excel. Okay, so here actually you can see that the same structure is came up with it. Oh, the structure is changed here again. I don't know. Product ID should be the first, but it's coming with that way. So here, like if you're going to add some more same information, just taking it with 16 GB in the description, making it bright as 8,000. Let's say 6S 5,000. Okay, so that is you need to change because there's the key that should be unique. Okay. Something you can write in this. Okay. So this will so this one same way we can add many other things as well, like if we say you are a refrigerator or anything brand. Let's say we are going to pick for LG refrigerator. So here we can write the capacity like 180 liters, and something there will be some brand in there, right? So product name we can say some WX3455A. Okay. So we can say 10,000. Here we can go for electronics accessory category. So we have to 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. Can be nice, true. Okay. Yeah. So this way, I feel like I made some changes to it, and I made it save. Okay. So here actually I'm just yeah. So I I saved that now, okay, and I can go back and I can upload it here. All the records are good, right? Yeah. So say I'm importing it now. So here if you like it, say upload, you can choose the file name. Okay. Click on upload file. So that the file is uploaded and click next. It will upload the file and display it here. Again, it will validate the things information as well. So here we see it's matching. You need to provide the rule, which rule you want to update and which rule you don't want to update. So product ID cannot be updated or added. So that will be remain same. And then others you can go with that. So that will now importing the data now. So we have 6 records which is created now, and the same information you will see it here. So all the liters, whatever the things, the local storage, we can able to see it here. Okay. So this is one of the feature of the Pega where we can able to use the dummy data. Okay. Actually, like dummy data or reference data you want to maintain within the Pega, we can able to use the local storage, or we also call as data tables. Okay. Yeah. So this way we are able to create the local storage. Okay, I'll show you what the use of local storage also. So local storage, like if you want to access the data, Pega create the source, right? So that's the concept of we call as um, page list, like your data page. Okay, so we'll continue with the data page on the tomorrow's class. Okay, so how this actually going to relate the data page with that. So there are two types of the data page. Okay, one we call as normal page and another is the list. So if you want to get the specific, like we say, this is the specific one. So if you say I want to get the details of a single record, so if you say I want to run the data page, it will ask for a parameter. So in the parameter I can provide the key for the same. So if you say I have the product ID P001, okay, and I'm run it, so it will give me the details about all the properties which is related to that one. So if you can see that it fetch the record for me. Okay, so this actually in the runtime, if I want to get the details about that, it's easy to get the records of the same. So if you change it, it will change with that. So it's now to Apple iPhone. So all the details in the database, it will able to retrieve that, and you don't need to write any queries to get it the details. So directly you just use the database for the local storage. You can refer that and then able to display that. Okay. So what's the beauty of this is, so let's see actually, I'll just give you a demo on that. We'll talk on more on the UI. So if you say we are going to create a new UI page. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the Pega data product itself. Here I'm going just to create a new section, UI rule to display the details on that. So you can see that how fast to create a UI creation, product details. Okay. So now till like I'm just creating the product detail with that context. So here I'm just going to show you, I'm going to display all the products which is available in a page list, like in a list. Oh, it's slow now. Fast. Actually, you can see that like I'm giving more focus on this one, like property data, because see everything is on data, right? Pega is all about any application, it runs on data, right? If you understand the concept related to how you can manipulate the data, how you can work with the data, will give you more advantage on the afterwards. So this is it, like I'm giving more emphasis on data part, and I'm taking some time to explain it in a better way. Yeah, it's finally clean. Okay. So here if you see, I'm going to create a layout. Okay. I'm going to use a repeat layout. Okay. There we have grid. Okay. So there you can see that the complete grid is came in that. Yeah. So there actually the source, you can go with the data page. Okay. Here you can see that data page name will come d underscore product list. Yeah, we have this products list. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that we don't want to display the grid input. Don't need that. Okay. And how you want to display that? You can say transparent container. You want to go with other. You can choose some specific format. Okay, fine. Actually, we just going for information. Okay. And there is one more option. You have no, grouping is not in this. Okay. So let's say we have done that. We click on submit. So now we can see that the information is here. So there actually like whatever the things you want to add, you can put it in the insert column. Okay. So here you can just write the structure wise. So this is another way to display the product. Why? 1 minute. Yeah, all the properties are here on the right. Yeah. Oh, this is the label only. Sorry. Okay, this is the label only. You are going to put it here. So in the top, actually, we are just putting the labels. We say name, category, subcategory, price. Okay, and then we have descriptions, and finally like we can go with available or not. Okay. So here we can map the property. So if you say we have product ID, so that all the things, the names are coming automatically. Like if you click dot within that, it will show you the next property. So if you say dot, it will give you which property you want to select. Product category. Product subcategory. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. So you can see that availability. Okay, so that technically you can save the same. Okay, so this is like I checked out, saved it in a better way, and if you go and you say I just want to preview the same. Yep, so you can see that the UI and all the details are coming from here. So from the local storage, the details are coming into this one. Okay, so if you say 1 minute and 1 minute, okay. So if you see the structure, you want to see that, right? So if you want to see the structure, so because this was transparent, it will look like that. So if you say you want to go with spreadsheet, saved it. Just so this is still like we go into the preview. So this is it like in the tabular format. You want to see that. Okay. So this is one of the use of data pages and the local storage. We are able to see that. So that's it actually for today. We'll continue again on tomorrow.
Okay, let's go back to, let's get out the view here, please.
Yeah.
So what you did here is we took the dynamic layout view, and then we said product details, right? So you created a data model called product detail. I mean,
yeah, this is a section. Okay, this is
a
the
section
UI.
of the UI.
Yes. So this is a rule within the Pega, which we have created a rule, section rule. So section rule are the UI rule, which is actually going to be the user display. Okay.
Okay.
So from this actually you see I have created the data, and actually for the user I'm able to display the details as well. So with the database, actually that becomes simplified. Actually earlier actually like we need to use a lot of things to display the details here. But now like with the database, it's actually become simpler. Like I'm able to do it actually see if you any other language, it will take a lot of time to display, because this is to do like this one.
Yeah. And so you just do it inside here once. And because the section is for product details and you define that, so we'll bring it and you just put it in here once, and it will load the entire list.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So this is actually I put a repeat grid. If you can see that within the dynamic layout, use a repeat grid. So each row is getting repeated.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You just put it in here once, and then you just say that product detail list, data products, and then you just put dot this, dot ID, dot name, dot category, dot subcategory, dot price, and it will show you everything in our list.
Yeah. So that's the way. If you go and now preview the scene, actually, like if you see actually in different format, we are able to see in a different format. So if you say you change the type of the property of the scene, it will look in a different way as well. So if you say
Yeah.
I want to go with um, presentation tab, okay, I want to change the look to some other fat list, something like that, okay. And in the container format, if you say like we want to change it to some nested other area, okay. And this is like if you say you have a different thing on the track. So if you say we have changed it now. So if you see like the color background is changed now. And if you see, so this is actually depend on your look and feel, you can change the same. So if you say now it's actually like looking in compressed format. So earlier it was looking the spaces and everything. So depend on your like requirement, we can change the look and feel of it.
Okay. And
Okay.
this, okay, I get it. And if this was coming from a standard source, you would do the same. You could do the same thing, right?
Sorry.
If this was coming from an external source, you just take the result set and you could display it in the same way, right?
Yeah. So this is it, like we have used this in this records tab to display my details. So I can use anything. Actually, the details can come in the data page or any page from somewhere. I can
Okay.
display it in this way.
Okay.
Yep. So this is actually just for demo. Actually, I showed you. Actually, like we are going to continue with the data page use on tomorrow's class again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is coming from
Okay.
the UI rule set, right? I mean,
Yes. Yeah. This is
yeah.
actually UI part of it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's actually will continue again on tomorrow on that.
Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Thanks for your time. Cheers. Bye bye.